We should be enthralled, excited that the season is about to get underway, that we're going to see cars in anger, no more dodgy pictures with shadows obscuring the key elements of these teams' design philosophy. We should be enthralled, right? Super ecstatic, but why am I filled with dread? Debbie Downer Cameron over here is scared that we're going to get another monotonous season, another season where Max Verstappen wins as near as makes no difference 100% of the races. And here's why I'm concerned, because I'm not sure the protagonists, the pretenders to the throne in Mercedes, McLaren and Ferrari, I don't think they've got their ish together. I will be honest, all the news that I'm hearing out of Maranello smacks of shenanigans, peacocking, masquerading of having a better package than they do in actuality. Let me give you an example. 1 second quicker around Fiorano. That's the headline coming out from Scuderia Ferrari, that they've made strides. Now that doesn't sound like a team that's quietly confident to me. I'm not reminded of Adrian Newey's design and Red Bull's manner over the past 24 months. Listen, if you've nailed your design, then why do you need to shout about it? You just show and prove, right? Less talking and more action. I'm concerned also by their underlying design philosophy. Now, smarter minds than me have said that the suspension configuration, pull, push, doesn't really matter if you can optimize for it. But I challenge this thesis. Noddy Cameron is thinking just copy Red Bull because they were so dominant. It's extents and not kinds we're talking about here. If it was a tenth or two, carry on pursuing your Noddy design philosophy, Scuderia Ferrari. But so dominant were Red Bull over the past couple of seasons, and surely just peel this back to brass tacks. This is rules of first principles, surely. Pull rod at the front, push rod at the back. This is the setup out of which Red Bull's success has been born. A nice stable platform, not to disrupt the Venturi tunnels that we all know are the source of 90% of the downforce in this set of rule and regulations. God tier aerodynamicist Adrian Newey has given you the blueprint. He said as much, that stability more than performance is what you're chasing from your aerodynamic setup, and fundamental to all this is the suspension. But no, not Ferrari. They've gone with push and pull. What are we doing? You can't do the sexy things with your aero at the back, nor can you slim down your gearbox. This doesn't make sense. Lest we forget as well that this setup helps with anti-dive and anti-squat. You guys know that when the car accelerates, it has a tendency to balance towards the back, and similarly under braking towards the front. Pull and push suspension helps with this. We know this. Case in point is the performance of that Red Bull car. But yet and still, Ferrari continue to optimize for a different design philosophy. Please see Mercedes in 2023. And more recently still, Frederic Vasseur has come out and praised Charles Leclerc for his intellectual approach in trying to solve for the ills of that Ferrari's design philosophy. Now, Charles Leclerc is a god tier peddler, one of the quickest that we've ever seen, but intellectual. I'm not sure that's how I'd characterise the fella. Indeed, it feels like inconsistency is the order of the day at the Scuderia Ferrari team. Speaking of which, the FIA have come out and made a statement about the Christian Horner allegations, alluding to the fact that they want this to be wrapped up as soon as possible, since they're an entity that believes in diversity, inclusion and fairness, only for the FIA to go and sign a deal with AlphaTauri, the sister team of Red Bull. And it was them talking of conflicts of interest only a couple of months ago. You know, I'll be honest with you, I can't even take the regulatory body of F1 seriously anymore. I don't think their pattern of behaviour demands it. I'm reminded of Tesla suing Jeremy Clarkson for slander, and a judge saying that he couldn't find in Tesla's favour. So much of a serial killer was Jeremy Clarkson for tomfoolery and defamation. Indeed, this is a pattern of behaviour. And Fernando Alonso's come out and been very critical of the FIA for their testing schedule. Why not do 4 days or 8 like we used to? 3 days is 1.5 days per driver. What's the point in that? one car and not two. And it's not like these teams don't have the two cars ready to go. We'll be racing there in less than 10 days. You know, as an F1 fan, I can't quite believe that the FIA is so brilliant at putting their foot in their mouth. Yet I know that I should know better. At this stage, no one should be surprised at how consistently inconsistent the FIA is. But they're the regulatory body, for God's sake, of $1 billion sport. This is nonsense. But you know what? I will take some blame in and amongst all this. As a lifelong F1 fan, you could argue that I should know better. Guilty as charged, Cameron F1, for being extraordinarily naive. Because as far as the FIA is concerned, if past his prologue, shy of incompetence and inconsistency, what would you expect?